Welcome to the Wild Simplicity podcast, the podcast for awakening women who are ready to shed the layers, let go of the clutter, and rediscover their wild and wonderful selves that lie beneath. I'm Anna Day, and together we'll explore how to simplify, release what's no longer serving us, and embrace the possibility of living fully in this one wild and precious life. Whether you're a dreamer, a seeker, or someone who craves doing things differently, this space is for you. Let's dive in and awaken the magic within. Hello and welcome back to the Wild Simplicity podcast. This is Anna. This is episode 46, and today I'm going to talk about, again, something that has come through my morning pages. This seems to be a pattern for me, that things come through to me in my morning pages, and not in my morning pages. This one is not my morning pages. Sometimes it's morning pages. Today it is when I got woken up this morning at 6 o'clock, not by an alarm, not by an external noise as far as I can tell, but I feel it's something inside of me, like a force inside of me that wakes me up. And this happens fairly regularly. It hasn't happened in the last couple of weeks, but it's happened over the last probably few months or a year, quite regularly. And to the point where what I used to do is get my journal out and start writing. So I'd have to turn on my light. But that used to kind of take me out of the energy of it. So now what I do is I used to not keep my phone beside my bed and keep it outside the room. And I had a little alarm clock. I still have it. That is a little digital alarm clock that just old school, goes off. But I'm back to using my phone for my alarm clock, actually, because I keep my phone beside my bed for this very reason of these downloads coming through. And the easiest way for me at the moment that I found to record them is to take out my notes app. So I can do it all on airplane mode, so I don't see any messages coming through. And it saves and uploads then later on. But is to just type out, and I have my screen lighting on dark mode, and then also on the is it red light or whatever it is, to take the blue screen away. So I mean, it's still not ideal looking at a screen that early in the morning when I'm like bleary eyed, but I can just about type it out, and because I can type quite fast on my phone, so it keeps up with my thoughts. And anyway, so one of those happened this morning. And so what I thought is I'd read out what I wrote. Usually I just take the essence of what I kind of read back over, and I take the essence of it and I share it. But today I'm going to read it just so you can hear the way it sounds in my head or when it comes out. And also to, like, for me to honor this process that is it's unique to me. I mean, it's not completely unique. I mean, other people do this as well, right? But this way of doing it is unique to me, and I really want to trust that and allow it to be the way it is, basically. So the title that came up for me was "What Do I Want?" And this has been coming up like a lot of my work. Like, what am I really here to do? What am I here to, like, obviously it's all about wild simplicity. It's about coming back to our untamed wild selves, and it is is simplicity at the essence of all we do. And I talk about simplicity because I inherently still do, and always have, made my life much more complex, as many of us do, than it needs to be. And I bring in other things that don't need to be in my life and make things more complicated than they need to be. So the essence of my work in the world is wild simplicity, and it is always what I am. I think my soul is evolving towards, my human self is evolving into this more and more wild, untamed version of myself that more and more honors simplicity, declutters more and more, and it becomes a way of life. It has become a way of life for me. And so I'm always asking for guidance as to what is like the essence of my work, and what is needed to come forth now. And like, really at the foundation of my work has always been freedom and liberation as well, like freedom and liberation of me to be exactly who I am in the world, and to inspire people to do the same. And we can do that through wild simplicity, because we come back to the wild nature, which is just not concerned with outside external influences. Or, I mean, we are influenced by the external, but we are not. We are moved and energized by our internal intuition, our knowing, our gnosis, our womb space, our heart space, our body, all of that. That's what guides us. And then the simplicity, because the complexities that we are, and distractions that are put towards us each and every day, as a fly just flies past me to try and distract me, is what we are dealing with. And so what the more we can let go of all the crap that is coming towards us each day, and really stay sovereign in ourselves and our untamed selves. So anyway, so I ask for more clarity on what I want in my life, and what I'm here to do, and how I'm here to make this world a better place, and how I can best serve and have the courage to bring my work into the world. So the title was, what do I want? I want to help free women's voices. I want to stand next to you, by your side, as you gain more and more courage to be you. And I feel like this is, so I'm talking to you and to those of you listening, but I'm also talking to myself in this. These are always messages for me too. Like, I feel like it's my soul speaking to me. So when it says, I want to stand next to you, by your side, as you gain more and more courage to be you, I feel like that's my soul speaking to my human self, but also then speaking to you, so we can, support each other. It's up to us. No one out there is going to do this. I'm calling for women to come with me. I want to hear more women's voices out there. Women who have been doing the work, women who are in the work, women who are doing it imperfectly. And funnily enough, there's, for those of you watching on YouTube or on Spotify, you'll see that the word imperfectly has been gobbledygooked, and which is hilarious. So I've left it like that because it's funny. Women who have been doing the work, women who are in the work, women who are doing it imperfectly and willing to get out there and show the world what it's like to do it like that, and without pretending to know everything. Women who are willing to say, I don't know, and to still know they can lead. Women, we have, oh yeah, women, women, we have to stop focusing outside ourselves only. We have to shift the focus to within, claim back our energy bit by bit, our time, our peace. This is a courageous act. Those of us who have the privilege to do this, let's rise up, not to the fight, but to love, to lead with love and kindness and care for humankind. This is not, look at me as I speak to you and teach you and guide you. This is, come with me. Stand by my side. Feel my energy of liberation. Feel the safety I have created in myself, that I have the courage to say these things out loud more and more. The courage to take action while I'm still in process, while I'm not fully ready or prepared. This world will change when we have more women out there who have looked at their shadows, who have faced the shame, who have looked at the abusive energy they have been subjected to, and have bravely and courageously shed the tears, felt the anger, felt the rage, felt the grief, moved through them, and continue to feel the rage and the anger and the grief and move it through them. And the women who are also willing to hold immense joy in their body, pleasure, deliciousness, exuberance. Women who know that it all gets to be present, our whole selves. It all comes with us. It's all part of what changes this world. Women who step out with heart and courage and love, and walk alongside other women and link arms, join hands. We have such power within us. It is undeniable. It is in us. I know you're feeling it stir inside of you. It's the irritation you have towards your kids when you actually want to be showing up for them in connection and love, but your old patterns keep arising, and then you feel shame, so you keep it all to yourself. It's the resentment you feel towards your partner or your friends or other people out there who seem to have their shit together. It's the rage you feel bubbling in the depths of your pelvis, that occasionally, when you're at the end of your tether and lose your temper at someone who happens to have said the wrong thing to you on that particular day. You didn't lose your temper. You're just unwilling to tolerate shit anymore. I know you have a voice and you have something to say, and you're stuck in your head with the mean voice and all the endless to-do lists you have. And you have energy day. What does that mean? What have I said there? And all the endless to-do list, you have energy. No, anyway, let's skip over that because I don't know what that meant. That mental load that keeps you chained and shackled. It's endless, and it doesn't stop until you stop it, until you take a stand for you. Not from anger, although anger is your fuel and catalyst to say no, but from a place of love and leadership. Leadership first and foremost for yourself. Well-resourced women who know how to honour, respect and love themselves will save this world. Women who see the pattern repeating. Women who create awareness around who they are and what they want. What you want is in your heart for a reason. It's not the same as the woman next to you. It's unique to you. So start removing the stuff that is not needed start letting go of commitments and to things that no longer get to be on your list. Let go of anything that's cluttering your life. So yeah, that was the what came through this morning, and it feels really there's an urgency to it without it being not a pressured urgency, but there is definitely I also had this vision of being in, so I obviously take flights a lot, being living in Portugal. We go back to Ireland and back to, my husband's from England, so we go back to England quite a bit. And we usually take Ryanair. Ryanair is always the airline we take from Lisbon. Although occasionally, last couple of weeks ago when I went to Dublin, I took Aer Lingus because happened to be the one time it was cheaper than Ryanair, and it was quite luxurious in comparison. My kids were like, "Oh, mommy, these seats are amazing. They're so comfortable." I was like, "I know." Anyway, so we usually take Ryanair, and if any of you know the Ryanair, I mean, most of you might know that if you've taken a flight with Ryanair before, and I think most airports are the same. In Lisbon Airport, actually, it's a bit different to Dublin, but in Lisbon Airport, they do this like two-stage situation where you basically, okay, you go into the airport, you put give your boarding pass first. You're going through a boarding pass check. Then you go in and you do all your bag check, and through security. Then you go through the shining, sparkling duty free with all the lights and the fragrances and the like intoxicating, not in a good way, smells. And it's always so overwhelming. And I'm always like totally enthralled and also repelled at the same time. So it's that like duality of, oh, sparkles, shiny things, and also, oh God, it's too much. Keep going, get through it. And there used to be a shortcut you could take through it in the Lisbon airport, and I think it's only for authorised personnel now, but you could go through this door to the right. And I used to bring myself and the kids through there and get us away from that crazy, but they've now renovated it. So I think you can probably still go through that door. Actually, I must check next time. Anyway, I digress. Same as IKEA, when you're going around the IKEA store, and if you know those secret doors, you can avoid the having to trudge through and follow the crowd. I don't like following the crowd, do I? Nope. Anyway, so then you're through duty free and you're into the next stage where there's like the cafes and stuff. You get a bite to eat and buy your sambo for the flight. And then they have a passport control. And you're like, so basically I'm likening this to the healing journey, the healing adventure, where you're like excited at the beginning because you're about to get, go to the airport, and then you go through all these kind of checks and checkpoints and stops and obstacles and things you have to deal with, and materialism, consumerism, that you've kind of rejected, but also that's still there luring you in. So then there's a passport check, and then you go in, you're like, yes, great, okay, here we go. There's the gate. And you go up to the gate and you have to show your passport again, your boarding pass. It's like, bloody hell, how many times do I have to like scan these things? And then you're in Lisbon Airport anyway, this area, this section that is, my husband calls it the people prison, because it's basically where they load you in there, and they'll say, gate closing and final boarding, and you have to go into this section, and then you might be there for, I don't know, 20, 30, 45, an hour sometimes. It's insane. Standing as well. So I feel like that came to me this morning, for like this holding area where you have to wait for ages, and you're at the whim of when those sliding doors open and the personnel come up and scan their card, and it's like, yes, we're going on out into the tarmac, onto the plane. And that's what the stage of that I've been in for the last couple of years, where I've been, okay, showing up and offering things and doing things, but there's been a lot of taking on information, doing courses, learning, reading books, listening to podcasts, all of that, like really just consuming a lot of information and learning lots and enjoying it. But it's now, I feel like I've been in this people prison, waiting to get on the Ryanair flight for quite a long time. And it's like, I'm just about to see those doors open, and then realizing, okay, it's me who gets to open those doors. I am both the passenger and I am that security personnel that gets to swipe my card and let myself through those doors and onto the flight to take flight into the skies. So that felt really exciting this morning. It was like, oh my gosh, I don't have to be at the whim of somebody else. Like, we get to decide for ourselves, and we have to decide for ourselves, and we have to have the courage, and we have to do it imperfectly, and we have to and go gently with ourselves as well, not push ourselves, but also push ourselves a little bit. Like, it's a trial and error. It's experimenting with this life and with ourselves. but getting more used to being in discomfort, to doing things that are a little bit edgy and scary, to doing things that are beyond what we'd normally do, that are different, that are not in our usual patterning. And that's what breaks these cycles, when we can do things out of our usual day-to-day comfort zone. So yeah, I felt a real urge to speak about this more, and to speak about voice more, and to speak about um, liberation, and the realizing, really, it's landing more and more that we can't wait for anybody to come and save us. Like I've said that before, but it's really landing more and more each time that it is us. It's you, it's me, it's us who get to stand alongside each other as well. We don't have to do this alone. We can stand alongside each other and feed off each other's energy and each other's healing, and what we're all doing in the comfort of our own homes, like doing all the shadow work. Just this morning, I've woken up with the middle of my back is it's very achy, and I've never had back pain before. I had lower back pain, but this was a real it's still there. I can feel it now. But my husband, I asked him to rub it a bit, and he started rubbing, and then I just started crying. Like I had these moments of sobbing. And when we can get used to and not scared of these emotions moving through, it took, like, I think I was sobbing for about maybe, I don't know, 20, 30 seconds. Then it stopped again. And then it went up in a wave again. And it happened about 3 or 4 times. And he just put his hand on my back, and us being able to ask as well for what we need and what we want. And it's also important. But before this, I would have said, okay, now I've started my day crying and in grief and releasing whatever needs to be released from my body. So the rest of the day is written off. I need to lay low. I need to stay within myself. But now I know that is part of that. I can hold it all, and not hold it all from the sense of what we have been doing as women, holding it all, like holding all the stuff and the mental load and the societal expectations. Not that holding it all. That's dissipating. The holding it all of our emotions and our whole selves. We can hold our whole selves and all our emotions in one day, in 1 hour. It's like the before, I always thought they had to be, okay, today is a day where I'm feeling low, I'm feeling depressed, I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling grief, I'm feeling whatever. Then tomorrow it might be, oh, this anger today. Okay, this is an anger day. And categorizing each day or each week or each month into these very definitive dictated by my energy starting the day, my emotions. And actually, it is a constant cycle, because I know now, the more I go into grief, because then the rest of the morning was actually incredibly joyful. So the more we can get into and surrender to these moments where we are feeling grief, anger, frustration, irritation, resentment, the more we can experience all the other plethora of emotions that are available to us. And we can hold it all. Our bodies can hold it all with practice and with care and with, I think a lot of it is about the stories we tell ourselves about what we've seen out in the world, and what we've seen represented to us by other people in the world, of what it is to be grieving, what it is to be in anger, that it's usually shown as all encompassing, and it is the theme for the certain period of time. Is that fly in my hair? Yeah, go away. Um, it's the theme that dictates and defines, a certain time for us. But actually, it doesn't have to. It can be. We can get really. We have the ability, especially as women, to transmute these energies through us, and quite quickly sometimes. Now, the larger themes will obviously need some time and attention, but the ability to feel these things and move them through our bodies is something very unique to us. And I mean, all humans can do it, but women have this power inside of us that I spoke of there. Like, there's this power that we have been distracted from, and that is my pledge, is to keep reminding myself and all of us that power is there, and that we have been distracted from it, and we are continually distracted from it, from focusing on our appearance, focusing on making ourselves look younger, focusing on outside achievements, productivity, being a good mother, being a good friend, being a nice person, being sedated, being like, no, it's there is so much. When we tap into this power inside of ourselves, you're unstoppable, because it's something that's so it's very hard to describe it in words, but it's so reassuring. And so it's an anchor point. It's a holding. It is like, it's something that is unwavering. Once you've touched into it, and keep touching into it, and um, give time to connect with that space within us and the liberation that comes from that. There's nothing that tastes as good as that power and liberation inside of us. And then when we tap into that, we start overflowing and start being able to more and more help the world, help people in our communities, help people like in the larger world. And we can rise ourselves as leaders. And what we need in this world is heartfelt, um, womb-led leadership, and from men as well, but from the healed masculine, not from this bullshit that's out there. It is, so it's rather than be always on the fight of the looking what's out there, pointing fingers and saying it's wrong. Let's cultivate and connect with this power within, and then we don't need to do anything, because it has a life of its own. It'll just guide us and pull us forward. And it is scary. It is scary. It takes courage, but we can all do it. We have this capacity as humans in these bodies, these souls that are guiding us. Yeah, so I'll talk more about this, and there's more and more coming through about it, and it is really fascinating, and it's really interesting as well to reflect on my evolution and my experience with, as I said last week on the podcast, of being a very shy, quiet child who was so insular, and so until I was about 14 and I started reading these personal development books, and then started getting courage and realizing that there was a way out. Oh, there's a different way. We're not just destined for this way we've been told we are, but there's been a whole other liberation now in the last few years, and it's really it's ripened, and I think it's ripening for a lot of us. So yeah, it's time to declutter, let go, simplify, come back to your untamed self, and allow it to shine and to guide you and to guide all of us, because we each have our unique spark, our unique way of doing things. So what I'm doing is not going to be the way you do it, and it's really important to tune into what is your way, but to trust those nudges, to trust the intuition, to trust what's inside of you, yeah, and let that lead us forward. And if you are interested in learning more about the simplifying process that underpins the way I've done it, this is one way of doing it. There's many ways of doing it, and many people teach different ways of doing it. But for me, it has come through in simplicity and letting go and decluttering. And I have released a masterclass in the last couple of weeks. It is currently on introductory offer until, if you're listening to this in real time, it is the 27th of November today when this is going to be released, and it is on offer until the 1st of December. So you can check that out. I'll put the link in my bio and in the notes of the podcast. But it is a masterclass called Wild Simplicity, the first step, and it's really the foundations. I cover the themes of what it is to live this lifestyle and of simplicity and wild simplicity, and not just decluttering, because decluttering is great, it's amazing, but decluttering without delving into the inner work as well, and what shifts when we declutter our external world, and really I was going to say capitalizing on what shifts when we declutter in the outer world, but when we really pay attention to what shifts, because a lot of people will declutter and then that'll be like, the house looks great, I feel good, okay, but there's so much more that's happening internally. And so in the masterclass I talk about our energy and how that shifts, and the energy in our home, and how when we shift the energy in our home, it shifts the energy inside of us, and it allows for these spaces to open up within us for more and more liberation. I speak about intention setting. I speak about what else? And I guess a lot of practical tips on how to get started, like how to actually practically get started with decluttering, and what to remove first, and what to pay attention to and what to not pay attention to. And language. I speak about language. So I touch on language, which I'm going to be speaking much more about. I did a language masterclass a few years ago, and I haven't done it since, and I'm going to do it soon, because I think for me, as a former speech and language therapist, well, I have a passion and a raw for language communication. It's so important, the way we speak to ourselves, the way we speak to others, the way we the language we use, and the contents of our thoughts, and paying attention to the subconscious beliefs and language that's going on. It's all so powerful. So I touch on that in the masterclass as well. So it gives you an idea of how to start decluttering and how to start letting go and simplifying, and all the different facets that tie into that and that help create a foundation for this path of liberation, this path of unfolding and evolution into who you are. So if you are interested in that, check out my website, annaday.ie, and it's on there under the first step. There's a tab at the moment called the first step. It's under there. Or check out my Instagram and you can find it my bio there. Yeah. And in the meantime, if you want to message me, I would love to hear from you. I'd love to hear feedback. I'd love to hear your experience of your evolution, your inner work, how you are with your voice, how you are with emotions. Does it feel safe to feel your emotions? Does it feel like it's too scary to go into your emotions because they'll, engulf you and you'll be swallowed up? Anything at all, just message me. I'd love to hear it. I love interacting and I love chatting about all this stuff. And you can do that by email if you want at hello@annaday.ie, or again through Instagram, which is at Wild Simplicity. And I will leave it there for today, and I'll be back soon with more. In the meantime, go forth, liberate, declutter, let go, simplify, be your wild, wonderful self, and I will talk to you next time. Thank you for joining me on this journey to wild simplicity. If today's episode inspired you to let go, simplify, and reconnect with your truest self, I would love for you to share it and help spread the word. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode, and follow along on Instagram at Wild Simplicity for more inspiration. Remember, life is precious and you have the power to live it fully, freely, and fiercely. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep seeking, and keep embracing the wild possibilities of life.